Roger Stone, former Trump campaign head, Trump confidant, best-selling author of The Clintons' War on Women, available at InfoWarsStore.com, and the new Bill Clinton rape shirt. You've been in 9 different campaigns inside 4 administrations. You were part of the Florida recount. You're a vote fraud expert. StoneZone.com. You've heard what I've been saying the last 5 minutes. Roger Stone, is there any doubt we are at the most epic moment ever, not just in U.S. politics, but world politics? I have never seen something this crazy. I have never seen something this over the top. I have never seen mainstream media go this wild and crazed. Is this a sign of strength or a sign of desperation?
Well, Alex, first of all, it's great to be back with you. I flew in from Los Angeles last night, got into Miami about 5 a.m., and therefore I haven't seen a lot of the press. And then this morning when I went online to prepare for the show, it boggles the mind. I've never, in almost 40 years in American politics, seen anything like this. I mean, the tactics that were used against Barry Goldwater, 1,000 psychiatrists say Goldwater unfit to be president, famous headline. Nothing compared to this. I spoke to Donald Trump yesterday. He's in good spirits. He has no intention whatsoever of dropping out. You can say anything you want about Trump. He's not a quitter. He's a brawler. He's a fighter. And this is 100% disinformation. Is it coincidental that ABC, who seems to be taking the lead in reporting this falsehood, is the home of Clinton Foundation donor George Stephanopoulos? These guys should be filing at the Federal Election Commission as an in-kind contribution to the Clinton campaign. In all my years in politics, I've never seen anything more egregious or more outrageous. It's an attempt to dispirit Trump's supporters, and it follows on the heels of a number of false reports. Let's go through them. There is a staff mutiny at hand at the Trump campaign. 100% false. There's going to be an intervention by Trump's senior staff this weekend. 100% false. Campaign manager Paul Manafort has given up. He's now phoning it in. 100% false. Manafort, is of Sicilian extraction. He never quits. He's a fighter like Trump. So this is a smear writ large, Alex, and it is meant to particularly have a stifling effect on Trump's fundraising, which I'm sure that is happening, and to sow confusion within the ranks of Trump supporters. But to those folks who are listening or watching, Donald Trump is not dropping out of this race.
And let's be clear, Manafort is your business partner of 30-something years. We should probably get Manafort on here immediately or get him on other channels. But I'm sure he's been trying. I'm not seeing, anywhere on the news Trump denying it other in his tweets and his statements. It looks like they're not even letting him get on air to say this is a lie.
Well, I think they're formulating a strategy. So I would sit tight. Knowing Trump, I know he is not happy about this smear, but that's all it is. It's disinformation. This is something worthy of the Soviets. Look, we know, for example, that the DNC WikiLeaks absolutely, positively did not come from the Russians. We know that because Crucifer II took credit for them a good 2 weeks ago and initially released them. They got almost no attention. He then went to WikiLeaks. They re-released them, and of course they screwed up the entire first 2 days of the Democratic National Convention when it became clear that Debbie Wasserman Schultz had helped steal the nomination from Bernie Sanders for Hillary. So the Clinton campaign narrative that the Russians favor Donald Trump and the Russians are leaking this information, this is inoculation because, as you said earlier, they know what is coming, and it is devastating. Let's remember that their defense in all of the Clinton Foundation scandals has been, not we didn't do it, has been you have no proof. Yes, but you have no proof. Well, I think Julian Assange has that proof, and I think he's going to furnish it to the American people.
And let's point out that Assange is a real liberal, somebody that stands up for people's rights, for open societies. And I'm really proud of the fact that a lot of real liberals around the world are battling Hillary and pointing out how evil she is. But it's because they've got the hacked emails. There's no doubt that Trump's been hacked. There's no doubt people have dug into Trump. You know, I've had big hacker groups I know get into some of our stuff before, and they went, wow, we like you. We now know you're for real. That's how they check people out. And the truth is that Assange and all the groups that are feeding him, and the intel we've got from William Binney and others now, is that it's not mainly Russia. Russia's been involved some in ClimateGate and things, exposing that fraud, that it's people in U.S. intelligence that are actually leaking this to WikiLeaks.
Well, and say what you like about Assange, he is a true progressive. He's really a liberal. Hillary's not a liberal. She's a crony capitalist. She's about the money. This is a criminal enterprise, not an ideological enterprise. This is the point that Bernie Sanders was trying, not very well, to make. I have a major piece coming on Hillary's relationship with the big banks and why she is sold out to the big banks on both coasts, essentially doing their bidding and destroying the small community banks that most of us go to.
Sure. Just to be clear, Roger Stone, you're saying, obviously, this is all fake. Trump said that over and over again when they tried to beta test this a month ago or a month and a half ago back in June. But clearly, this is the panic we see is that they know more WikiLeaks is coming out. They know stuff's coming out about how ill Hillary is and things like that.
Yeah, so they have to try to disqualify Trump now through these smear tactics. I think that is precisely the strategy. And then I see reports today that Republican National Chairman Reince Priebus called Trump and lit into him. Let me tell you how unlikely that is. First of all, Reince Priebus is a historical figure. He's the only Republican National Chairman in the history of the party since 1860 who has lost a presidential election and been kept on in that job. Generally speaking, losers are encouraged to move on, and perhaps Trump should have named a chair who is more loyal.
Absolutely. Clearly, he's there to throw elections. The fix is in. The Republican establishment's working with Hillary, all lined up denouncing Trump. This is the greatest endorsement of Trump ever to any true populist.
Well, and is there any voter anywhere who cares about whether Paul Ryan has endorsed Donald Trump or vice versa? I mean, Paul Ryan is an open borders man. He's a TPP man.
I am proud of the fact that Trump hasn't endorsed that TPP guy that stabbed him in the back.
Yeah, I totally agree. This again, though, the media continues to say, well, how will Trump possibly win without the support of the Bushes and the Romneys and the Ryans? The answer is easily, because those people are discredited.
A bunch of discredited, globalist, rhino, neocon losers. Thank God the Bushes and everybody else are against him. Now, expanding on that, I want to just read the quote from Trump in June when Politico and the New York Times trial ballooned that he was being paid off to quit, which is asinine. He's lost hundreds of millions in boycotts alone. Why would he quit for $150 million? This story, this is Donald Trump, is a total fabrication from you and Politico, as usual. The New York billionaire said in an email sent by his campaign manager, I will never leave the race. Nobody has had enough money to pay me to leave the race. And if they did, it would be totally illegal anyways. Did Obama and the Clintons get you to write this? Now, this was said a few weeks before the emails came out that Politico directly is getting talking points, just like ABC News and just like the New York Times. So I mean, Trump is shown to be prescient here, Roger.
Yeah, this is part and parcel of the mainstream media's bag of tricks. And, of course, I think it was Winston Churchill who says, you know, the rumor's halfway across the room before the truth has a chance to put its pants on.
That's right.
This is precisely what's happening here. And it's runaway. It has become, you know, ubiquitous. You go on Twitter, you go on Facebook, you have all these people parroting the mainstream media regarding the fact that Trump is on the verge of dropping out, which, just to be clear, he absolutely, positively is not. Anyone who knows Trump knows that this will only spur him on to greater effort, that this will only make him hunker down and fight harder. You're right. We did face this exact same messaging from the media and the left during the nomination phase. I am beginning, Alex, as I know you are, to turn my attention to what I think is the real danger here once this particular thing is tamped down, and that is the very real possibility of election fraud, the very real possibility that this election will be stolen from Donald Trump.
And we're going to pause in a moment and talk about that. Look, it's not you advising Trump or even myself, though I know we both told him this and he concurs, that obviously, if they try to steal the nomination, they're fixing everything. They won't list you on Google as a presidential candidate. They're censoring you everywhere. They're lying about you. They're going to try to steal it. Do what you did in the primaries. Point out the fraud so that politically we have the will as a public to say no, and they may back off, or we're going to challenge it. Well, obviously, that's what Trump's doing, not because he listens to us, but because it's the truth and common sense, and that has panicked the White House. And as you know, hundreds of publications that know that you and I, the day before he went public last Sunday, challenged Trump to do exactly this. And it's not that they're scared that we're advising Trump. It's that they're scared that he is such a real patriot and has never compromised and is threatening to overturn their entire system.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. This is a topic we have to get into at some length.
I'm going to break here for just a moment and come back and get into that. If you can do 5 minutes the next hour, we'd love to have you. And if you can do a full hour tomorrow or do a special report, this is such a key time. Roger Stone is our guest. But before I break for a moment, I just want everybody to understand something. I cannot hype enough to you the situation we're in. There are not words how over the top, how epic, how insane all this is. And I'm going to ask Roger, as we get into election fraud, not just voter fraud, but institutional black box fraud, I want to ask him, is this jumping the shark? My gut tells me, my gut's never wrong, that if people grab their destiny in their hands, the fact that the whole system's panicking against Trump and escalating the lies to cartoon level, that this is going to backfire with people, especially because we have a few months, and that this is only going to embolden the public to support him in a landslide. I think this panic by the establishment is the most illustrative point that their time has come, that their time is over in the history of this republic. We're going back to Roger Stone of StoneZone.com in a moment. But first, the Clinton rape shirt is super aggressive, but the globalists are aggressive. Everyone needs to get the Clinton rape shirt at InfoWarsStore.com. And you need free shipping, by the way, this week. That's the special right now. And wear it and cause a debate and talk about it. It's the archetypal Obama hope style. Get out there, get aggressive. We're going to lose everything if we don't. They're trying to bully us into submission. Get the Hillary for Prison shirt that has been in thousands of publications, that has absolutely forced that onto the floor of the RNC, that has sent fear into the New World Order, that Assange comes out and says she will be in jail next. A lot of people say, man, you're risking your life. Of course I am. This is destiny. I'm not on the bad guy team, folks. You wild horses, to quote the Rolling Stones, couldn't drag me away from this. This is epic battle for the republic. It's happening now. Everybody shoots their mouth off and says, hey, who's going to get in the arena for us? Who's going to fight the New World Order? Trump's doing it. Pure Americana. 100% manly John Wayne, but John Wayne for real. Putting his life on the line, his name, his treasure, every lie heaped on him, every demonization heaped on him. It's almost Christ-like. I'm not comparing him to Christ, but I mean, the sins of the world heaped on his back, blame for everything, target of the whole world, his family, drugged to the mud, and Trump's up there like a bulldozer running right through him like a locomotive. I am so proud that I got on this bandwagon because my gut told me to do it a year and a half ago. Now, get the Clinton rape shirt. We also are going to sell out of the nootropic. It won't be in for about 3-4 weeks, maybe longer. Of Brain Force, $17.76. Normally $29.95. It's 40+% off right now. DNA Force is set to sell out very soon. Vitamin Fusion during this special. We're free shipping on top of these specials. And a lot of other specials as well. We had to end the sale where everything was on discount, but the best sellers are still on discount until they sell out. That's going to be a few days in the case of Brain Force. Maybe a week or so in the case of DNA Force. InfoWarsLife.com takes you right to the nutraceuticals. InfoWarsStore.com takes you to the big umbrella site. InfoWarsHealth.com takes you to not my nutraceuticals or supplements, but folks I trust, folks I really love, folks that have high-quality products, and that's the Longevity line. When you purchase it there, you get big discounts. You can get free shipping when you sign up for AutoShip. Become a distributor, get big discounts at InfoWarsHealth.com, and a percentage of the proceeds, about 10%, goes to help fund this operation as well when you get beyond Tangy Tangerine or Pollen Burst or whatever the case may be. But whatever you do, we're the tip of the spear. We're taking action. We're exposing the hoax that they're saying Trump is going to drop out or will he drop out. That's like saying Hillary to drop out and creating a fake New York Post headline. That is illustrative of the level of their deception. Roger Stone, going back to you, my friend, talk about election fraud. Talk about what we're facing, and the fact that Trump is calling him on it and saying he's going to challenge it.
Yeah, this is, of course, unheard of. In political circles, there seems to be some naive notion that computerized voting cannot be rigged, is never rigged. I was actually on a program in Cleveland with the Huffington Post with my longtime friend Howard Feynman, who I agree on with almost nothing. And a woman from Huffington Post actually said as a flat statement, there's no evidence whatsoever that election fraud exists. What planet do these people live on? These are computers. We have both seen a powerful video about how the so-called Diebold machines can be rigged. One of the reasons I went to California is because those machines are in common use there. They are under control of the state Secretary of State, who actually holds a position in the Hillary Clinton campaign. Now, you remember during the 2000 recount, people went out of their minds because Katherine Harris, who was the Secretary of State in Florida, had endorsed and campaigned and had a position in the Bush campaign. So in other words, it's okay for the Clintons, but it's not okay for Republicans. Extraordinary. We're going to be laying out a very specific plan in the next couple weeks to combat what I believe will be an egregious and outrageous effort to steal the next election. If the polls show, as I think they will, that Trump is in a dogfight for the presidency of the United States.
By the way, we have former Chief Diebold engineers and others that have testified to state and federal legislatures that they engage in fraud, were ordered to engage in fraud, and that major elections have been stolen. So to have this Clinton lackey say it doesn't exist, this is just madness.
Well, and let me say it's existed and been done by both parties. But look, I have a long sentimental attachment to the Republican Party. I'm a former Young Republican national chairman. I have worked for 9 Republican presidential candidates, actually 8, because I proudly supported Gary Johnson against Mitt Romney and helped Governor Johnson get on the ballot in 48 states. But it has happened at the hands of both parties. You'll recall the famous incident in which Karl Rove melted down on Fox the night of the 2012 election when he kept insisting that the results shown on the screen couldn't possibly be right because Ohio was going for Romney. Why was he so sure? Why was he so positive he was right? Unless, of course, he thought the fix was in, which is exactly what he thought. So it is a topic for broader discussion, but more importantly, we are going to lay out in the next couple weeks a very specific, detailed plan on what the average citizen can do to fight voter fraud.
And I've also noticed that Hillary's chief of staff said this is, quote, dangerous what Trump's doing, pointing out fraud. They're really scared of us ahead of time pointing out she's crooked because everybody knows she's crooked. She's fixed everything, the primaries, everything. It makes perfect sense for Trump to come out and say that. So they're really scared of us. I think the fact that Trump came out this week and said, I'm going to fight election fraud, I think that helps send them into this panic.
Well, you have to let them know in advance that you're not going to stand for it, that if there's any solid evidence of election irregularity, you're prepared to challenge her swearing in and create a constitutional crisis. Now, in 1960, we had the closest election in American history. There was ample evidence that Richard Nixon had been robbed. But the truth is, the largest reason he didn't challenge those results is because they were irreversible. The reason they were irreversible was because the ballots in the state of Texas had already been burned. There was nothing to recount. Lyndon Johnson destroyed the evidence. Texas was stolen from the Nixon Lodge ticket. Today, however, you have, at least on some of these machines...
Hold on, do 5 more minutes. This is key. But Texas put Kennedy in. Texas took Kennedy out. Back in 70 seconds, 5 more minutes with Roger Stone. We've got so much epic news today. By the way, they're about to make you wear burqas at water parks. I'm not kidding. I want to, in the last 5 minutes we have with Roger Stone, who we've got to get back on for a full hour tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday. There's just, I'm working 7 days a week right now. There is so much going on. In fact, I will be doing a special report Saturday, so everybody knows, Saturday night. It'll be at Infowars.com. Stations are welcome to play it. We're going to have it up on the satellite. I'm going into a 7-day-a-week system right now. Is Clint Eastwood a Deus Ex coming in for Trump and saying, you know, the political correctness hates him, we got to be with Trump? How exciting is that? And then separately, We've done research on the con guy. Our story's on drudgereport.com today. This con guy founded a super hardcore Muslim Brotherhood law association to promote Sharia law in the West, that and the writings specifically call for the execution of gays. Exclusive. Khizr Khan founded Islamic Journal to defend Sharia law. Khan defends Sharia law responsible for executions of gays, women in 11 countries. I mean, wow. And then he's hooked in with the Clintons. What is going on here, Roger?
Yeah, this is what they call a con job, if I may. The real irony, of course, is that he chastises Trump at the convention, asks him if he's ever read the Constitution. On the other hand, Mr. Khan is an advocate for Sharia law and has specifically written in numerous places that Sharia would take precedence over the U.S. Constitution. Now, Alex, I don't need to tell you the difference. Under Sharia, women and gays and Christians and others are oppressed, brutalized, and killed, whereas the U.S. Constitution protects all those people. So the fundamental basis of attack on Trump is phony. Go a next step, which is Trump's proposed ban for a temporary ban on Muslim immigration is not unconstitutional. It's perfectly legal. The president has that authority to block any group for any period of time. And
I say arrest Obama for not checking their passports.
The country don't have constitutional rights.
Exactly.
They're not U.S. citizens. So the whole thing is a canard, and more is being learned about Mr. Khan every day. Like I said, it's a con job.
How do we, in the last 2 minutes we have with you, 2.5 minutes, how do we strike back? Obviously, we're not losing. They're being forced to lie, go thermonuclear. That's going to backfire. But it makes me wonder. I mean, you say Trump's got big huevos. I agree. He is in danger. We should be praying for Donald Trump. But how do we counter just weaponized lies?
Yeah, look, I think the best way, of course, is to keep repeating the truth. But just watch Trump. He will handle this with aplomb. I think they're handing him an opportunity because they are so over the top. They're so overextended. This is so outrageous that I think there's going to be a backlash of sympathy for him. Just I would key off what Trump says, watch his tweets, watch his appearances. He was very effective in Daytona yesterday. It's outrageous to me. We can now learn that Hillary gave Apache helicopters to the ISIS, but we're busy talking about whether Trump is going to drop out, which he's not.
That's right. And boy, wait till the new WikiLeaks comes out. Assange, like you said earlier, he doesn't exaggerate. This must be devastating. And the word is, it is confirmed, her ordering weapons to Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, look, I think he's got a treasure trove of documents, and I expect that he will drop them at strategic times, the day before a debate, for example. Therefore, that's their greatest single danger. But at the same time, Trump has to be poised to exploit each one of those openings. He has to be poised to make sure that the mainstream media doesn't mute those things the way they have muted all the bad news.
And every single listener is so key in the fight, sharing articles, sharing links, sharing the grassroots response. We're bigger than the mainstream media when the listeners decide to move. But they've got to understand they're the power.
And Trump is bigger than the Republican Party. This idea that the Republican National Committee is preparing for a plan for when Trump drops out, complete and total BS. Trump's not going anywhere other than the White House.
That's right. Roger, I'll talk to you tonight if you can talk. Thank you so much. Get some rest, and hopefully get you back tomorrow. Thank you, sir.
Many thanks.
Wow, Roger Stone, StoneZone.com. Get the Clinton rape shirt at InfoWars store and help fund this operation and spread the truth. We'll be back with another Patriot.
Talk show host is Alex Jones. He's a conspiracy theorist.
Radio talk show host Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Jones is the wildly popular conspiracy theorist.
Radio talk show host and conspiracy theorist Alex Jones.
Deeply, I think, racist.
I just got called racist by MSNBC.
I don't want that man to have a gun.
1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms.
The Alex Jones Show. Watch the free stream live at Infowars.com/show.
We have ended the big mega sale, the biggest in our history. Now, we have kept 3 items, though, this week. That's Grain Force, While Supplies Last, the amazing nootropic, for $17.76, normally $29. Leading competitors that have similar formulas are $60 to $70 to $80. So we're already a great deal at that price. It has some ingredients that are controlled or prescription in Europe. That's how powerful it is. Read about it for yourself at InfoWarsLife.com. That's 40% off. DNA Force, our flagship product. It's a big deal to offer 30% off on that. We're extending that. And then Vitamin Mineral Fusion. All the vitamins, all the minerals, the amino acids, the cofactors to help upload it. Great tasting fruit punch. Organically flavored. There's nothing else out there it's like it. It's amazing. It's plant-derived minerals. InfoWarsLife.com. That's 30% off. But I'm going to go further. Boom, here it is. Normally you sign up for auto ship, you get 10% off. You still get that on top of it. I'm doing free shipping on everything. Whether it's one Hillary for Prison shirt or a Bill Clinton rape shirt or whatever it is, whatever informational warfare weapon you want to help spread the word and meet like-minded people, free shipping store-wide. Free shipping store-wide. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you can get 40% off on Brain Force. You can get 30% off on DNA Force. I'm not going to sit here and belabor this. People should really go read and see the hundreds of studies that are there breaking down just what BioPQQ does and why this is such an amazing nutraceutical and why it's so important that folks take it daily, because the compounds in this are just amazing. I mean, you just know they're from God. But I'm not going to get into the science. Go to InfoWarsLife.com. Go there to the page for yourself, and you can check it all out at InfoWarsLife.com. InfoWarsStore.com is the umbrella site, and your purchases make it possible, everything we do here. So I want to thank you all for your support, your prayers, and so much more.
We're not even able to post probably half of the reviews that come in. And the reason why is because if anyone mentions a disease or they got better from a disease, the third-party review sites that we subcontract out to that monitor these reviews, if there's any mention of a disease or anything in there, it can't go up online because of the regulations with the FDA. So please feel free to call in as much as you want. We love hearing about your stories. And this is just DNA Force, but you know, the best thing that I love to do and the best thing I tell people to do is just go online, InfoWarsLife.com, and just read all the reviews.